Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. Because y'all don't know my God. So let's check this out right now. I'm finna tell you how God created the Zodiac wheel. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to tell you where degrees came from. Remember, because I told you direction, and deals with direction and time and all that. So I'm about to tell you how God created the Zodiac wheel and how all frameworks got this ability. Because I'm going to break it down. Now, like I said, this space, right? When it experienced isolation, it went from 0 to 1. When it moved into this other space, it is either more space or more viewpoints. So now it's outside of these two or more viewpoints. So now it experienced third person. Now it's a being. It's consciously aware of its space and its surroundings. So this space, right? Here's where the 360 come from. This is why all shapes, all circles and spheres equate to 360, and it can't escape it. Here's why. Because now, look at this space now. Now it's a being now, and it's consciously aware of its space. Now, here's where circles and everything spiral out of existence, and this is why everything looked like a spiral. Because now it's experiencing its surroundings. So here comes direction and the circle, right? Now, the first sense of direction when it came into being from this 3 sequence, now, the first is I am, right? It's like, that's the first sense of direction. I am, right? So then it's going to do a full circle with itself. This is when God first experienced its own surroundings, becoming a being. Then a move right here, right? Then it's what I have. What do I have? And what you have is coming from the first sense of direction, which the I am. Then you move in this, then it moved in this direction, then what I have. Then it moved in this direction, and that's okay, communicating what you have, right? Then it moves into this direction, then it's creating a foundation of what it has, right? Then it moves into this direction, right? Then this is expressing what it has, right? Then it moves into this direction and start to feel like now it's working on what it has. Now it moves into the direct opposite. It look into the direct opposite direction that it looked into the other direction. Remind you, what number I'm on? 7. What do that equate to? 7th house. What do that equate to? Libra. Now what did this equate to when it looked it this way? Now it's able to relate. To relate to the self. Because it's looking opposite towards the first house, which is I am. Remind you, what's the first house? First house, Aries. I am. Right? So when it got to 7 of the direction and looked this way, it's able to relate the I am to something. Into itself. So this is why Libras are the relatable signs. You know what I'm saying? Want balance. Now, when it gets to this direction, it goes into, now it desires that. It desires to relate, to transform something. So, now it desire it and it goes deep about it. So, that's like deeply about relating. That's why people who are in relationships have sex. Life and death, transformation, right? Boom. Remind you, 8th house. Boom. Diving deeply into something. Boom. Now, it goes into this space, which is the 9th house. The 9th house, now it has a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience from the travel. Remind you, it's like a distance all the way from the first house. So once it got all the way to the 9th house, it got wisdom and knowledge and experience of a travel, of a sense of travel. That's why the 9th house is what? Long distance travel. See, y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Don't tell me about my God. Now, boom, it went into this direction, right? Which is the 10th house. Now it's being able to be seen as this from the experience. It's able to experience what it's seen. So it's able to be seen as something. It's seeing the work is done. It's seeing the fruition come to the step-by-step plan. And it's becoming the authority now. Which 10th house? What? Become a boss, right? Boom. Then it moves into this. Now a boss can't be a boss without workers. So now it's able to, when it moves into this area, it's able to communicate. But amongst masses, which is that, remember that length all the way from 1? Then we go all the way back to the 11th. It's able to communicate all that information and knowledge that it has. Remind you, 11th house. Remind you, house of the public, unfamiliar faces and places, Aquarius, air, boom. Then it gets to this area, right? And this is, it's about to become complete. It's about to become whole. It's about to become, and it's the information is being attracted almost to the whole, which is the whole collective conscious, which is what? The 12th house, Pisces. And then what is that? The last sign, 12, goes to 3. Then it goes back to start over again, right? Back to 1 again, I am. Then it spirals down. Because when something has to do something again, that means it adds to it, right? And when you add something in this reality, what does that mean? You're adding something. You're adding something to something. So that gives it weight. That gives it density. So in this realm of reality, we can only look at that as down. So in reality, that's what God did. Then it spiraled down. It kept doing that. And remind you, every space itself has its own 360 from the mind frame of God. You know what I'm saying? But you can't look at it like that. You just look at it all space, because the dimension you in, you don't know how to separate dimensions and know when you in this dimension and know when you in that dimension. See, it works different in different spheres of reality. See, but when you try to be a scientist and try to explain it just in one realm of reality, which is 3D, you're going to get all confused. And then you're going to go into hypothesis and doing things and getting in debates and coming up with arguments, when at the end of the day, it's just a confusion amongst the right and left brain, being human. See, and if you lack spirit, you're just a nobody. You're just going to be somebody who's on this earth thinking they're intelligent, but you're just coming up with new ways to be confused between the right and left brain. That's it. Now, it's spiraled down. So in our solar system, in our 360 realm of reality, when it hits us, the way we're able to relate our surroundings are, because it's a space. Now, nothing can escape these 12 spaces. When it comes down to our realm of reality and the way we explain it, we came to the conclusions of how it's Aries, Taurus, Gemini, you know what I'm saying, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, you know what I'm saying, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. That's how we equate to. So we're all pointing to it. It's just the people who are explaining it to you are in other programs, and they're tying that to other things. But it still all come from that one thing, and that's what the original I am, and through the whole that's why the Bible is the Holy Bible. The Bible means just book. Holy means whole. So it's the whole Bible. So that means that's telling you in this existence, the whole point is to become whole again. So God wanted to experience himself to see if he could teach himself how to become whole again. And he's doing it through you, people, places, things, everything. See what I'm saying? You got to get this construct. I'm the Archangel Uriel. You can't get these in books. You only could get this from spiritual knowledge. You can't get this from the confusion of the right and left brain. When you using too much yang, trying to learn too much shit and see too much shit, and using too much yin, trying to feel too much shit and understand too much shit. No, you have to use both of these, and when they're a balance, that helps your spirit grow and lighten its load, so it can rise and has less experiences, so you don't have to come back. But if you worrying all the time, thinking about a lot of shit all the time, trying to come up with all these programs of why this ain't this, that, and the third, then you're becoming more dense. You're adding more density to your spirit, and your spirit is getting weighed down to the point that if your spirit become dense, and then you're getting more and more down, you're getting more and more separate from the one. So whether in your world, in your plane of existence, if you want to come anti to whatever the one is, that's on you. But when you dissipate, and then when you take your spirit on a journey for thousands and thousands of years and make that dissipate, then you're going to be nothing. You're just going to be nothing. You see what I'm saying? Don't tell me about my God. Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. And I just told, and that's how degrees, and look, when it did the 360, this is why all spheres of reality, all circles, all shapes is 360. Now, how you could actually break down when he was experiencing his surroundings for the first time, how you actually break it down is, it has to be 12 slices, because that equates down to 3. And if you add all the numbers in the world, it still equates to 360. So it has to break down to 12. So don't give me this 13 sign. Don't give me that motherfucking shit. You don't know my God. Flight boss, bitch, you know. For sure. Goddamn. Archangel Uriel.